Hey everyone, Gremlin Gear. Today I am out in the Blue Ridge Parkway and I am going to be trying to set up a very basic end-fed half-wave antenna setup with my Yaesu FT857D HF radio. I'm going to be trying to do 40 meters at NVIS height on my antenna. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what all that means and also understand that this setup that I'm doing is a pretty effective field expedient way to set up an antenna to do long distance comms. So we're going to be working on the HF radio bands. For those of you who don't know, in a very large antenna, I'm going to be sending the radio waves nearly vertical straight up into the atmosphere, and they kind of come back down and shower the area around me, around Earth. Now this depends on a couple different factors, one of those being the antenna height, which is a big deal. But really the point of this video, I want to show all of my HF radio equipment, how it all fits in my backpack, and what I've been playing around with. So I've kind of wanted to do a multi-day pack video for a while, but what I've really been doing is, and using this backpack for, is to fit all of my radio equipment in it. So right here, we have a United States Marine Corps assault, or 3-day assault bag. That's what it's commonly referred to as. And I've had this set up with like the canteen pouches on the side for a few years, but I can use this for all sorts of different things. And I hear my GPS tweaking right now because I think I'm laying on it. So got my GPS strapped on here. Go ahead and take that off so it's not laying in the dirt. There we are. In my Pelican case, I have my Yaesu radio, and one of the biggest adjustments I'm going to make to this whole system is I need to get one of the ArmorLock pack frames from ArmorLock for the FT857D so I can actually make this a full man pack setup. I have one of the pack frames for my TYT 9800, but the Yaesu ones have been out of stock for a while, and I think they're back in stock, but I'm just trying to get the funds to buy it right now. And once that's complete, it is going to fit in this backpack, and I'm going to have everything that I have in here plus the radio. So right now it's a little clunky. I actually had, oh my goodness. So right now it's a little clunky, but I had this strapped in right here. And it's cool, and I was walking like this for a while until I threw it on the ground. But the cool thing is this backpack is kind of like a gear dump right now. I'll explain my thought with some of this stuff, but cool thing is with much larger or just larger style backpacks, whether it's this one or an army backpack, as opposed to those small like assault style bags, this can carry a lot of stuff. Right now, this Pelican case is carrying my DJI Mini 4 Pro, so it's drone. Now, with the drone and the radio, and if I had to carry sustainment equipment or ammo, extra ammo to support myself, this is like way too much stuff. And as far as squad roles go, different people should be carrying like a drone and a radio so that, you know, so if one person's carrying it all, they cannot carry stuff to sustain themselves without having the weight of the world on their shoulders. Check out this horsefly, I think, that just landed on me. Oh, I'm so glad they didn't bite me. So yeah, I can carry 2 canteens on the sides for 2 quarts of water. I'm just carrying one right now because I'm just going on a little day adventure. And then a little bonus item down here is a chair. It's like a foldable chair. I think it's by Big Agnes. So these are really cool. They're a little expensive, but these chairs fold out very nicely. I may bust it out here. I haven't decided if I'm going to put up the Eno in the tarp or the chair in the tarp, but maybe I'll do both so I can show them both. Right here, this is a back strap that you can get for like a chest rig, and I'm just ditching like the mail buckle on the side that usually clips in here. Undo that. You can put a back strap in here. I have even used this to put a helmet, strap a helmet into here. So I've gone hiking with the helmet on the back of here. So whenever it turns nighttime, pull the helmet out, pull the night vision out, put the helmet on. Just kind of tried it as an experiment. It was a ballistic helmet, so it was very heavy. It's the only helmet that I own. I think with something like a bump helmet, it would be lighter, a little bit nicer to walk with. And this is just me mind dumping some information from me using this backpack. But that's the explanation behind this backstrap, and you can use it to carry other things like a drone case on the outside if you don't have any room inside, which, as you'll see, I don't have any more room inside. So let's bust into the main compartment real quick. The reason that I am kind of choosing this backpack to be my man pack radio portable rig well, I'll show you in just a second. And let's get the sunlight. Okay, lots of stuff going on in here. Snacks, antenna that I need to untangle, rope that I need to untangle. Ignore those things. Well, maybe not the rope, but for now, ignore. Also ignore. This is my radio logbook. This is an important item. I think if you're doing HF comms in the field, you need to have some sort of logbook, and also chapstick. Don't go hungry in the field, guys. Pen for writing in the logbook, obviously. Okay, now other important items. This is a pretty heavy item. This is coax cable. This is PL259 or SO259 connector, so you're pretty much your standard like HF radio connector. Pretty much every radio is going to have that connection on there. For the antenna setup that I'm running, highly recommended that you get a 90-degree adapter. I bought this one off of Amazon. They're lossless. Amazon ones will work. It's cheap, but get a 90-degree adapter. I use these for my BNC connections in my car, and also for this. This is a coax cable from Chameleon Antenna. Most of my antenna equipment is from Chameleon because I am running their line of products pretty much. Been trying them out. They make stuff that is kind of like field expedient military style antennas, and as you'll see, like even that wire that I pulled out, I really like it because you can barely see it in the grass. It's a foliage green. Whenever you set this thing up, you know, over trees, you can't really see it unless it's just contrasting somehow on the hill that you have it set up on. If you're in the woods and that wire's in the trees, like no one's really gonna see it. It's pretty nice. And not all my stuff is camouflage. I need to kind of like rattle can that stuff and camouflage it all because I just want to. But this coax cable has this ferrite choke built into it, which is important whenever you're using their antennas pretty much. They recommend it, so I buy theirs. You know, maybe it's just all marketing. I'd rather be safe than sorry. This is 50 foot, and honestly, I could get by with a lot less. I could probably get by with like 15 feet. So it's kind of heavy, but I don't think they made a smaller size. But if they do, I'll probably be buying it sometime. Other items, the antenna itself. So this is kind of like the goods that we're going to be showcasing. This is the Chia Leaf infed half-wave or infed half-wave sloper by Chameleon. And this is a multi-band. I believe it goes anywhere from 20 or 15. I think it goes from 15 meters all the way to 80 meters. Now, in order to get past 40 meters, you have to add that extension onto it that I put over here that's tangled. I'm not using it today because I'm going to be doing 40 meters, so I don't need it. But it has pretty much like a plug right here where you just connect this antenna up. Let's see if I can find the other side. Right here. So all you do is plug the extension in, and then you have access to even more bands. But like I said, today I'm only using 40 meters. I only need one half of the antenna, which is cool because if you know that you're only going to be using kind of like the daytime bands, you can just ditch that altogether. So going back in, so back here, so rig expert, you don't really necessarily need that for the field, but you know, I do. And a battery to power the radio off of. So this kind of this compartment that I'm keeping all like the battery and everything in, this is actually where I would be putting my man pack radio. And it's cool because these little camelback, you know, hose lines can, you know, you can route like a whip out of it, something like this. This is a signal stick dual band antenna, and then this is one for 1.25 meters. But I don't think I'll be using either of those today, and I have other UHF, VHF antennas in here to show. But in the bottom, for comfort and for fun, I have my Eno, have something to sit in, straps for the Eno, and an Eno tarp. So this goes over the Eno, blocks wind, rain, the sun if you're into that. The sun is very warm today, and I'm going to be probably not covering myself. And then this is just a rain cover I got off of Amazon, some cheap thing from China. Kind of has M81 woodland camouflage on it. Cool, cool. So this is probably the most important part about this whole setup. I'm going to try to demonstrate how, even though I wish I had a way to strap my phone to my head, because it's going to be kind of hard to show. So I'm going to do it probably one step at a time and cut this video up for you guys so you can actually see what's going on. But essentially, I'm going to be using a rope, any rope, pick a rope. It could be this one whenever I'm done untying it, or it could be this rope that I actually bought with the arborist weight. So this is called an arborist throw line kit. This is a weight. This is an 11-ounce weight. This is the throw line. I can cut this into smaller sections. This is way too much line. I'm learning, and pretty much what you're going to see is I use the weight with the rope and I throw it over a branch. Then I untie the rope from the weight, tie the antenna to it, pull the antenna up the tree. Then I take my wire, take it to another tree, and pretty much do the same thing. And then I will have my wire strung between two trees. And I don't know which ones they're going to be yet, but I'm using those two as my example. But this line and this weight is really important. And this is a very small and compact way to be able to deploy your antennas up. And that's, you know, like one of the biggest things is, you know, you're going to go out in the field to run HF. It's like, well, how are you going to get the antenna up in the tree? And how are you going to do it efficiently? And how are you going to do it to where all this gear doesn't take up that much space in your backpack? Because if you're someone who needs to carry other equipment to sustain yourself, whether you're just trying to have like a fun camping outing or you're trying to LARP in the woods, you know, all this HF equipment is taking up a lot of space. And I could trim down some of this backpack some. Really, what you're looking at is all you need to deploy this antenna, you know. So it would be antenna, coax, and then some way to deploy it all. And then you obviously need your radio and your battery. So pretty much this is all the gear right here that's important. But going on to the rest, this is my VHF this is my UHF VHF Slim Jim, I believe is what it's called, antenna from, you know, N9 Tax Labs. And these are the ones that I've always seen recommended. You can get them from his website. You can't get them off of Amazon and eBay anymore, to my knowledge. And these are really cool. They're a little funny looking, but the whole point is you can hoist this up into a tree. There's a hole tied right here, or a hole punched right here for the same reason, right, as this hole, because that's where you tie the rope to and hoist it up into the tree. So I can do that. And he even sells, I believe these are pieces for like a mast. I haven't actually used them, but then there's a plastic 3D printed hook that you can also put into that little nubbin and then hook it around a branch, which is cool, but you honestly don't really need it if you're gonna go with this throw line method. The hook kind of swings, and you can't even really get this thing that high up with it. So if you want to get your antenna up higher, I would go with the throw line method. These are options on the website to buy, and I haven't used them since. So I wouldn't necessarily spend the extra money if you're going to go with the throw line method. But besides that, guys, you know, I have extra coax. I even have a dipole in here for, here it is, bonus item. This is a dipole for 10 meters that I bought off eBay from somebody. Put a BNC adapter on the bottom, spray painted it green so that it kind of blends in. Yep, there's blue cable, but you know, whatever. I did a bad spray paint job on this, I'm not gonna lie, I need to touch it back up. But 10 meter dipole, that was kind of for the TOIT 9800. So if I take that radio out, I have my UHF VHF antennas and then the 10 meter dipole because it does 10 meters. I could also get one for 6 meters because it does 6 meters as well. Or use another multi-band infad. But you know, I think all that's a little bit overkill. Just for 10 or 6 meters, you can set up a dipole a lot easier. So let's get some stuff set up, guys. These trees look so rough from just time and the harsh weather up here, and I'm afraid I'm gonna break branches if I throw this thing up. But honestly, I think that's high enough. I think that's over 10 feet. And for NVIS for 40 meters, we need the antenna to be around 13 to 15 feet high. So that's your NVIS height. It's about a 10th wavelength in feet. So should go from there to there or something else. I'll show when I figure it out. Okay, so I am, gonna block the sun for a second, and I can't really hold my phone while I record this. So to show pretty much what I'm doing is I got the rope, and you tie a little knot off on the end here. You can just, oh yeah, here we go. Route this through, and if I can get it right the first time, let's get this the right length. All you pretty much have to do is route this down and over the bag. And then like this, it just kind of slides up on the ring. And then it's pretty much locked in. It's not really going anywhere. And this is plenty enough to throw it up over a tree. Okay, fantastic. I think I've picked my tree because this branch right here is beautiful. Or I could do that one. I'm gonna pick this branch, so hope this gets me throwing it up. If not, whatever. All right. Second time's the charm. Oh no. Okay, now we have our rope over a branch. And I'd say that's probably about 13 feet. Okay, now that we have our throw line over the tree, I'm going to untie this, very simple, and tie the antenna off to the line that is around the tree branch. The knot doesn't need to be anything crazy. And now I'm going to untie the antenna and actually see how far it'll go out and which tree I need to take it to next. Okay, now it's time to hoist this up over my branch. You are going to be POV the ground. One last thing that I'm forgetting, you're gonna need your feed line attached, and you're gonna wanna attach the 90-degree part because this is gonna be facing the ground. And just make sure that you untangle it a little bit before you send it up. Okay, feed line's attached. All right, and it's up. And now I will just tie this around the base of the tree to keep it steady and still up in the branch. Cool, so now we have our balloon and our antenna up in the branch with our rope tied around the tree to support the weight of it all. Now we're gonna run the wire to that tree way over there. But first, I'm gonna go grab my stuff and move it up here. Now I've used the black rope. I actually cut this rope in half, and I think it ended up being a little too short. But this is the entirety of the rope. And it goes up around the branch. And I know you can see the wire looking at it straight up from the sky. But from here, unless the sun's really aiming at it, I cannot see it back when it's backed up against the tree line. So, and even in some spots, it's invisible. But I'm gonna get back over here, get my hammock set up, and get the station set up. I think I'm actually just gonna use my chair today. It's a little bit more comfortable to sit in, especially when doing radio stuff. So, if you're interested, cool thing is, okay, bag, chair, poles, and the really nice thing is, see how it folds down? You can only put the legs in one way. Boom, and that's it. You got one side set up, super easy. And then you take the red parts and you put them over the red legs. And the gray parts, put them over the gray leg. And now you have yourself a super dope field chair. I actually just took the balloon down because sometimes whenever you send it up, focus camera, the feed line and the antenna will actually get twisted as you send it up. So something to note is it might be easier just to get the wire set up first and get this thing up in the tree and then let it down, attach your feed line, and so that you're not worried about it tangling as it's going up. So I think honestly that is an easier thing to do, just a little bit less cumbersome. Okay, now that I finally have everything set up, have my cable run over here to my chair, I can go ahead and open up the goodies. All right, got the Yaesu in the box. Let me go ahead and pull my battery out of here. So I can simply, for now, since I don't have a man pack set up, pull my Yaesu out, close the box up, set this up on here like so. So if you are new to all this, just gonna show my cable setup real quick. In order to use these Dakota lithium batteries that I got off Amazon for like 80 bucks, these have spade connector terminals on them, and which means you pretty much have to get an adapter. You need to have spade female terminals on your radio. Pretty much I've standardized all my plugs where the plug coming from the radio, this is proprietary to the Yaesu 857D, but this is a Yaesu T-style male connector, and this is a T-style female connector. So coming from all of my radios, there is a Yaesu T-style male connector, so that I can make a cord like this, which plugs into now any of my radios. It can go, I can take that radio and connect it to a battery because it has the female plugs on it. So get my positive, make sure it's on the positive, put the negative, put it on the negative. And for those of you who don't know or maybe new to this, you really cannot buy this stuff online. If you're getting into this hobby, because that's really what it is, you're gonna learn a lot of really good skills. And one of them is that you need to be able to be comfortable making wires. So get a crimp, get a wire cutter, and go out and make your own wires. Lastly, take a coax, and what I've done is on the back of the Yaesu, this is the VHF UHF plug, and I have that with my standardized B and C connector. I keep the HF one, the PL 239 or SO 239, whatever it's called, both, simply because it's just a more direct method for me. You know, there's all different types of plugs for VHF and UHF, so I standardize it with the B and C. I'd rather just have a direct plug to the radio from the coax cable. Another important thing to note is, and I'm glad I didn't mess this up and forget, on your coax cable with the Chameleon antenna, you need that ferrite to be up on the feed line next to the ballon going to the wire. You don't want it to be down here by the radio. You want to make sure that end with that thick part is up with your antenna. And now I'm actually going to have my handheld on the UHF VHF repeater locally, and oh my goodness, look how much fun I'm having. Go ahead and power this on. Cool. So we're on 40 meters right now. Let's go ahead and scroll around some. Turn my volume up. So we're gonna turn on the squelch. So we're getting close to the noise floor now. Volume, squelch on the Yaesu, volume, squelch. I'm gonna start off at 25 watts. Yep, so we're down here at the lower part of the 40 meter band listening to some people, and we can scroll around. It's pretty clear today though. It's pretty yesterday.
Down, my friends. Thank you so much. Have a great day, my friends. 73.
All right, so because I'm in a park right now, I have written down some POTA numbers, being in Moses Cone Park here. I'm gonna scroll, find a clear frequency, and record myself trying to collect some call signs and get some contact from people. But right now I've been listening to some stations from a North Carolina station that's about 50 to 100 miles away, and some stations from Pennsylvania and Ohio, which seem to be pretty typical, given that I'm assuming they're also probably doing some NVIS setup like this. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? CQ, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, doing a POTA activation from Uncle Sam 12119. Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, CQ. All right. Let's see if we can get any attention. We're doing 25 watts, so I might need to bump it up. I know yesterday it took me to get, I had to do 50 watts to really get anybody. So, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, CQ, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, POTA activation from Uncle Sam 12119. Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, CQ, calling any station, POTA activation from Uncle Sam 12119. Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray.
Kilo 8 November, India Victor.
QSL, I had Kilo November 8, and what was that suffix? I might have not had that call sign correct.
Kilo 8 November, India Victor.
Kilo 8 November, India Victor, I have you 59. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I got you 59 here also in West Virginia, Whiskey Victor.
Perfect. It's a beautiful day. Glad to be outside. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for reaching out to me.
You're welcome, Mayor, and thanks for the park, and have fun out there today, and save me tree.
7-3 to you. QRZ.
Park to park.
Park to park. This is Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray from Uncle Sam 12119.
Roger that. This is Kilo Delta 9, Tango Quebec Hotel. Again, Kilo Delta 9, Tango Quebec Hotel.
QSL, Kilo Delta 9, Tango Quebec Hotel. I have got you about 5'5". This is from Moses Cone Memorial Park in North Carolina.
Yeah, roger that. You're right on my noise level. I'm at Park US 2266. That's 2266, North Central Indiana.
Wonderful. I've got Uncle Sam 2266 from Indiana, and I hope you are enjoying the weather as I am today up here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, watching the bumblebees right now and the flowers. So thanks for calling out to me, and 7-3 to you.
All right, everyone, 7-3.
QRZ, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray. Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray, CQ. POTA activation US 12119. CQ, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray.
Kilo 4, Mike Sierra, Kilo 4, Mexico, sugar.
Kilo 4, Mike Sierra, QSL.
Roger, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-ray. This is Kilo 4, Mike Sierra. You're 59 here in South Carolina. Your neighbor, hi. My name is Jesse. Go ahead. Juliet Echo, Sierra Echo.
That's awesome. Good to hear you, my neighbor. I am trying out a NVIS setup antenna, so that's good. I'm trying to see the states I can get to that are close by, so that's awesome. What part of South Carolina are you in?
We're in the upstate near Spartanburg, probably where 26 and 85 come together. And yeah, you're peaking S20 at times over, so no problem hearing your audio is good. You sound clean, so doing a great job there for you, Justin.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, I've got a friend who lives down there, and that is one of the reasons I'm testing out this antenna, try to see if I can communicate with him. So I really appreciate the feedback. And 7-3 to you, man. Have a great day.
Yeah, Roger. You too, my friend. Thanks for being out there and let me hunt want you to surely enjoy hunting the POTAs. And if you guys didn't go out there and sit and get all that traffic and the headache that goes with 50 million calls and then sometimes no call, we wouldn't be able to work you at all. So I certainly appreciate you being out there. Take care, buddy. Have a great day. When you get down this way, look me up. We'll go to our Waffle House and get some coffee or something, Justin. Take care, buddy. And 7-3, Kilo Oscar 4, Victor Oscar X-Ray from Kilo 4, Mike Sierra Sierra.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Will do. I'll be sure to look you up yet later. QRZ.
Kilo Echo 4, Juliet, Lima, Lima.
Well, there you have it. There is my POTA NVIS day. I'm probably going to cut that up and just add a couple other cool contacts that I had, but I filled out a whole page in my book and I just called it a day. Probably spent 20 or 30 minutes just collecting call signs, but as you can see, the setup is pretty efficient. It's small enough to fit into a bag, you know, minus I need to get the Manpack frame. And this antenna setup is extremely cool. It's just very simple. And one thing I wanted to note was that if you were someone looking into getting into this for maybe like tactical purposes, tactical reasons or whatever, and you want to be able to like carry everything out here in a backpack, something that is extremely important to note is that if you watch a lot of ham radio videos, you'll see a lot of guys going out, parks on the air, and they'll take out masts, or they'll take masts that they kind of run over with their cars to keep them still. They'll jack them up as high as they want. These really expensive metal masts that are extremely sturdy, and you can obviously adjust the height of the mast, which is really cool. And that's still a super cool feature to have because it means you can pop out of your car, set that up probably quicker than this, and jack your mast up, able to operate on probably any band that you want. But with this tree setup, you eliminate the need for a mast. So if you're not near a car, you're not in your car, and you still need to be able to jack your wire up and do some HF comms, we're pretty much making use of the trees. Well, now I'm fortunate enough to live out here in the east where there are plenty of trees to pick from, but if you are someone who lives out west, chances are you're not going to have trees this tall or very many trees to choose from. And you know, what trees you pick matter. If there's a lot of branches or if it's a pine tree, it's probably going to be a huge pain to do this. It's likely it's not even going to be worth it. See, this branch that I chose was sticking out pretty much at like a right angle. And it was very easy to hoist the antenna up there. The other one was a little bit harder, but just understand that I'm leveraging this system a little bit with the environment that I'm in and the equipment that I have. But I do really love this antenna. I got some really cool contacts. A lot of people said I was coming in clear, and I actually care about doing comms that are like local, regional, statewide, or within my state. I got a contact with someone who I'll check, but probably was only 20 miles from here or less, which is awesome because that's super close. It's literally like the next town over, kind of down the mountain, which is awesome. That's exactly what I was looking for with like an NVIS regional comm setup for disaster scenarios or what have you. But on top of that, I was also getting people that were hundreds of miles away. I got people in, I believe, I guess that would have been in Atlanta. It was Fulton, Georgia. So I believe that's around Atlanta. So northern Georgia, super cool. I think I could have gotten further. And yesterday I was talking to people in Ohio and Indiana. So, and I actually had the antenna set up, I think slightly higher than this. So maybe that was why, with the height, the waves were able to go further. Or maybe it was just no one was calling me from those states. So I'll look through the book and I'll decide what I want to put in this video, or I might make a complete separate video on just the POTA activation. But thanks for watching. I hope I can make a few more videos like this in the future. But this is kind of the comms backpack setup that I've been working on. And I don't have everything squared away to make like a full video covering, okay, like here's exactly how I have everything packed out and organized. Like I still need to cut my rope down and trim it up and daisy chain it. I want to get this bag like hyper efficient, make sure the weight's right, make sure that it feels good before I make like a full video on it. But this is kind of what I've been doing, getting out and testing the stuff, and it's finally warm enough to where I'm actually able to get outside and do these things. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel like organically and through people who are interested in these things. So ask me questions about this setup, my backpack, if I recommend anything else, or comment what the equipment that you have, because I would love to hear how you have this stuff set up. I really like this bag because it allows me to carry more than just my radio equipment. I can carry sustainment gear, water, stuff that keeps me comfortable, like a freaking chair. That's super cool. All right, so right as I'm about to go, I wanted to show about how small everything breaks down to be in the pack, and this is the only exception. This is not going to work. I tried to daisy chain this so it deploys very well without tangling or knotting, but this takes up too much space. So this is Coax. This is the extra antenna for 40 plus meters, and I went ahead and just cut two lengths of the arborist rope to the same size. I don't exactly know how long it was. It was from this tree to that tree, and actually it was wrapped around, so it was twice as long. So I figured that was enough for trees of different heights and different wavelengths that I'm trying to achieve. It's plenty of rope, and I have some left over. So I went ahead and cut these and wrap them around the antenna lines. And honestly, what I would like to do is get one of these and wrap both of these lines around a third, and then I don't have to take this in the field unless I think I'm gonna run 40 plus meters. So, and then this is the arborist weight, so about 11 ounce weight. So besides the radio, obviously, this is about how small everything breaks down to be. I kind of want it to be more like that, and maybe have this wrapped around something similar so it's similar in size.